There is a roof system that costs $23 in hardware store parts and collects hundreds of gallons of completely free drinking water every single month. Not filtered water you pay a subscription for, not bottled water shipped across 3 states in plastic containers. Free, clean, drinkable rainwater harvested directly above your head every time it rains. The United States military used this exact system to supply fresh water to bases across the Pacific in 1943. Farmhouses across rural America ran entirely on this system from the 1880s through the 1950s. Entire towns in Australia and rural Germany still use it today as their primary drinking water source. It requires no electricity, no pump, no filter subscription, no monthly bill. Then in 1987, 14 American states quietly passed legislation making this system illegal without a government permit. Not because it was dangerous, not because it failed, because it worked too well. This is the story of residential rainwater harvesting, the water system that sustained entire civilizations, supplied the American military, and was systematically made illegal the moment municipal water utilities realized it threatened their entire business model. Welcome to Ancestral Hacks. Subscribe and hit the bell. Here we open the vaults the industry locked shut. 4,000 years before the first municipal water utility sent its first invoice, civilizations across every continent had already solved the water problem permanently. And they solved it from the roof. In 2000 BC, the Minoan civilization on Crete built rooftop channels directing rainwater into underground cisterns, lined with volcanic ash cement. Archaeologists found those cisterns still structurally intact after 4,000 years. The Romans called it impluvium. Every Roman household had a roof opening positioned above a stone collection basin feeding underground storage chambers. Roman engineers calculated roof angles and storage volumes with precision that modern civil engineers still study today. In ancient Jerusalem, archaeologists documented over 200 individual household cisterns carved from bedrock beneath residential buildings. Each one fed by a rooftop collection channel. The city had no river, no natural lake, no reliable spring. It survived in a desert for 3,000 years entirely on harvested rainwater. In ancient India, Rajasthani rulers built elaborate rooftop collection networks called tunka, underground cylindrical cisterns sealed with lime plaster that supplied entire palace complexes through 6-month dry seasons without a single well. Every civilization that faced water scarcity arrived at the same answer independently. Catch what falls from the sky, store it below ground, use it indefinitely. That is not mythology. That is 4,000 years of convergent engineering across dozens of cultures on 6 continents. In 1850 rural America there was no municipal water system, no water utility, no monthly bill. There was a roof, a gutter, a downspout, and a cistern. The United States Department of Agriculture published detailed rainwater harvesting guides for rural homesteaders in 1887, 1903, and 1921. The federal government was actively teaching American citizens how to harvest free water from their own rooftops on their own land. During World War II, troops deployed to Pacific Islands had no access to rivers, wells, or municipal systems. Marine units on Guadalcanal and Iwo Jima survived on rainwater collected from corrugated metal, salvaged from destroyed buildings. The United States military drank rooftop harvested rainwater to win the Second World War. Then everything changed. In 1945, less than 30% of American rural households were connected to municipal water. By 1990, utilities had captured 94% of the residential water market. That trajectory did not happen by accident. The American Water Works Association spent the post-war decades lobbying state legislatures with one unified message. Private water collection is a public health risk. Only professionally managed municipal systems can guarantee safe drinking water. The legislative solution had nothing to do with public health. Between 1960 and 1990, 14 states passed legislation classifying rainwater that fell on your own property as the illegal diversion of a public water resource, rain falling from the sky onto land you own, classified as stolen property. In Colorado, collecting rainwater in a barrel was technically illegal until Utah limited collection to 100-gallon barrels until 2010. Nevada prohibited all residential harvesting without a state permit. The global bottled water industry currently generates $280 billion in annual revenue. Municipal water utilities in the United States collect over $110 billion in residential water bills every single year. A $23 rooftop collection system that eliminates your water bill permanently is not a product these industries want in your awareness. It is a threat they spent 40 years legislating out of your memory. If you have made it this far, you already know more about water freedom than 99% of homeowners, engineers, and survival experts combined. Most people will watch this, nod, and do nothing. The ones who subscribe and hit the bell are the ones who actually build this system next weekend and never pay a water bill again. Do that right now before we go further, because what comes next in the how-to section is the part the municipal utility lawyers specifically do not want filmed. Here is exactly how to build it, almost insultingly simple, for components: a clean roof surface, a first flush diverter, a storage tank, basic filtration. Total cost between $23 and $60. Step 1. The roof. Metal roofing is ideal. Corrugated steel or aluminum collects clean water with minimal contamination. Asphalt shingles work but require longer first flush diversion. Avoid roofs treated with chemical preservatives or lead-based paint. Step 2. The first flush diverter. This is the component most people skip, and skipping it is the only reason poorly built systems ever develop problems. Here is what happens without it. Every day your roof sits dry between rain events, it collects an invisible layer of dust particles, microscopic bird droppings, and pollen. The moment rain begins falling, the first water off your roof does not look like rain. It looks like the roof is bleeding. Within 90 seconds of any rain event, water flowing off an untreated roof turns the color of weak coffee. Dark brown, visibly cloudy. That is the water you do not want in your tank. The first flush diverter is a simple vertical standpipe that automatically fills with and discards those first contaminated gallons before a single drop reaches your storage. 2 minutes later, the water running into your tank is completely clear, crystal clear, the color of nothing. That visible shift from dark brown to perfectly clear is the system working exactly as it was designed 4,000 years ago in Minoan Crete. Step 3. The storage tank. A standard 55-gallon food-grade barrel costs $15 to $25 at any feed store. Position it on a raised platform 18 inches above ground. Elevation creates natural water pressure. Cover it completely. Light penetration grows algae. A sealed tank in shade stays clean indefinitely. Step 4. Basic filtration. For garden irrigation, toilet flushing, and laundry, no additional filtration needed. For drinking water, install a 2-stage point-of-use filter, a 5-micron sediment filter plus a carbon block filter. Total system cost, $38 to $75. Total installation time, 1 afternoon. A single 1,000 square foot roof in a region receiving 30 inches of rain collects approximately 18,000 gallons of water per year. In 2019, a retired schoolteacher named Dale Harmon in Bastrop County, Texas, installed a 2,500-gallon rainwater harvesting system. Dale is not an engineer. He watched one YouTube video and spent one Saturday afternoon with a drill and a hacksaw. Over the following 24 months, he documented every gallon collected and every dollar saved in a spiral notebook on his kitchen counter. The system paid for itself in 67 days. By month 18, Dale disconnected from municipal water entirely. His documented water bill for the following 12 months, $0. Dale still uses that same spiral notebook. Minoan engineers knew it, Roman architects knew it, calculating rooftop collection dimensions for every household in the empire. American homesteaders knew it, filling hand-dug cisterns beneath their kitchen floors on the Great Plains. Your great-grandparents knew it, drinking rainwater harvested from their own roof without ever once receiving a water bill. $110 billion in annual municipal water revenue depends on you forgetting every single one of their names. But legislation cannot repeal the water cycle. Rain does not check permit status before it falls. If this changed how you look at the roof above your head, subscribe and share this right now. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside exposes the heating system that kept families warm for $0.